If you like sweet heat, this one's for you. Today I'm making a mango habanero mead with the goal of not just using habaneros for heat, but to balance their unique bright flavor with tropical fruit and honey. Let me show you how I did it. To make about 3 gallons of mango habanero mead, I used 16 pounds of water, 6.5 pounds of Hawaiian wildflower honey, 4.25 pounds of mango juice concentrate that I got from Coloma Foods, 2 sliced and de-seeded habaneros, and 5 grams of Opti White. I chose QA23 to play nicely with all the tropical flavors going into this, and my starting gravity was 1120. After primary, I back sweetened with a pound of lehua blossom honey, also from Hawaii, 9 pounds of frozen mangoes, 1 pound of dried mangoes, and then I added 1 more sliced and de-seeded habanero. After accounting for dilution, the ABV was around 12%. Hawaiian wildflower is exactly what it sounds like, wildflower honey from Hawaii, and lehua blossom comes from the Hawaiian ohia trees, and has a bright floral taste with a buttery smooth finish. If you don't have access to these, you can substitute any light floral or citrusy honeys. Orange blossom would be my recommendation, and it's pretty widely accessible. I'll link the concentrate I used below, but you could also use pure mango juice and omit the water. Fermenting mango flesh tends to disintegrate it and can lead to a lot of loss when you rack it, which is why I avoided that route. It's certainly an option though. So I started by removing the stems, seeds, and membrane from the habaneros and then thinly slicing them. It's advisable to wear gloves here if you've got sensitive skin, or just in general to avoid getting it in your eyes or nose. It's a pretty bad time if you do. Now this meat obviously has a bit of a spicy kick, but if you like things extra spicy, you might find it a bit mild, and there's a few ways to crank the heat up a notch. You can include some seeds here or in the secondary infusion, but I'd recommend playing it safe and doing it in secondary where you can taste it regularly, get a better idea of how much heat is being extracted. If you don't want to use seeds, you can also just increase the number of habaneros. For the must, a good place to start is always mixing up all of the liquids. In this case, it's the water, honey, and mango juice concentrate. I use enough water to fully reconstitute the mango juice, so if you have access to replace this with 100% mango juice, I'd say absolutely go for it. Just add some pectic enzyme to help with the clarity. When that's thoroughly mixed, I drop in my bag of spicy peppers. I did throw a magnet in the bag to allow me to drag it down and keep it submerged through the process. And I didn't really like that the top wasn't submerged, so after I added the Opti White, I did end up using another set of magnets near the opening of the bag to fully submerge it. You probably don't have to do this, I'm just a little picky about it for some reason. After that, I took a gravity reading to make sure I was on track, then pitched my rehydrated yeast before sealing it up for the day. I added nutrients for the next 3 days, and you can find those addition amounts in the Mead Tools recipe that I've linked below. If you're following along, you can use whatever nutrient schedule you prefer. When fermentation ends, we'll stabilize it over in a new container and then wait a full day before adding any new sugars. 9 pounds of mangoes will take a ton of space, so make sure you choose a container with enough room for them. When we are ready to add those, we'll line the container with a brew bag and just dump them right in. These were removed from the freezer and treated with pectic enzyme to thaw the previous day. For the dried mangoes, I added those to the bags of frozen mangoes so they could get some of that enzyme treatment too. If you want to omit the dried mangoes, you probably can, but I like the somewhat distinct flavor and complexity that they add. Mango flavor is notoriously difficult to capture, so I mainly add them to use as many mango sources as I can. I would also highly recommend tasting it here to see where the heat level is. If you don't want any more heat, you can leave out the habanero, but the secondary habanero is where the actual flavor will come through better. If you don't add it, you might find it's more like a generic spicy mango flavor rather than getting those distinct habanero notes. If it's not spicy at all to you here, you can include some of the seeds as well. I do recommend letting the mango steep for a full 2 weeks, so if you want better control of the pepper flavor or the heat, you can use a second bag for that, so you can pull them when you need to. After the mango sat for 2 weeks, I racked it over to its final carboy to do some balancing. This had a decent level of sweetness from the mangoes, but some extra honey really helped balance the acidity and the heat. If yours is feeling a little dull, some acids can give it a little boost. You may find you like it a little drier also, but I was really going for a sweet heat vibe, and definitely needed to bring the sweetness up. I actually have another fruit and pepper video coming up where I decide not to bring it up so high, so look forward to that one. With the final adjustments made, all that's left to do is let it clear and put it in bottles. I am a big fan of slapping labels on everything I make. I might do a video in the future on how I make mine, but for now, let's move to the tasting. Alright, so now you've seen how a mango habanero mead is made. Let's see what it tastes like. I actually started moving away from the flip top bottles. Got myself a few of these. They're a little bigger, so gotta commit to a little more when I crack one open. But I like being able to actually fully seal the cap instead of relying on the flip top. So got a nice kind of orangish color. Let's pour it up here. It's hopefully a little more visible. Very clear. Really love the color here. Smells like mango. Has a little bit of heat on the nose. Actually, not from alcohol at all, but from pepper. But it's pretty mild. It's like smelling a fresh pepper. Smells fruity. Smells peppery. Let's give it a taste. It's good. It's really bright. You can taste the lahua honey. It's bright and citrusy up front. Definitely the mango comes through. You can kind of taste like the habanero flavors through the middle of it, and then some of the heat comes through on the exhale. Now, I should note this is a very mild version. Like, I don't think anyone would drink this and be like, ooh, that's spicy. That's just not really the vibe it gives. The first time I made this, it was, and that was also very good. But this is drinkable for like literally everybody. I know that this, if you made this and told your friends, I made a mango habanero mead, you'd probably get a mix of, oh my God, that sounds really good, and oh, that sounds too spicy. I don't think I'd like that. I don't think anyone in that second camp would dislike this for being too spicy. But if you're looking for like big heat and like really like punchy in your face heat, that's not what this is. However, add a few seeds in, or just put more habaneros in it, and you can easily make it a spicy one. And I actually only have one more bottle of the first batch I made that is really spicy. Otherwise, I would open it and do a comparison right now. But I've had it recently. I know what it tastes like. It's like this, but spicier. Which one do I prefer though? It's hard to say. I could drink a lot more of this one. The other one, like one glass like this, and it's a little bit too much, which is good if you want just a taster. But if you want something that you can actually, sit around, enjoy for a while, and drink for a long time, I think this version fits the bill a little bit better. I like this a lot. This is a good mead. I'm gonna make it again, maybe somewhere between spice levels. It's very juicy and bright, and I don't think I'd want to cut into that at all with tannins. I think the bright acidic profile is preferred here. You could probably oak it, but I don't know if I'd even like that oaked. I'd probably like it, but I think it would change it too much from what I was really going for. That's really good. I don't have much else to say about it. I think the honey choice is good. I think the primary honey I used was different. First time I used like a citrus blossom, and this time I used a tropical wildflower. Orange blossom is pretty accessible. I think that would do just fine in primary. Not gonna lie though, I think the lahua really makes it shine. I think it would be really good with orange blossom, but I would do it with lahua if you can. All right, that is all I've got. I'm gonna leave you with one piece of advice. Well, A, go out, make yourself a mango habanero mead. B, charge your equipment before you record. Last time I recorded a video, it was the camera. This time it's the mic. You can probably hear the difference. Anyway, peace.